What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another video. If you don't know who I am, that means you're new. I'm Mark. What's good with y'all? Go check out my other videos. Check them out. But first, stay on this one. So, I know, I promised y'all last night. I said last night, look, the next day, I'm going to do 3 downsides to open carry because I had just did 3 downsides to concealed carry. And here I am coming through on my promises. You're welcome. But no more beating around the bush. Let's get right into it. To start it off with number 1. Actually, you know what? There is a little bit of beating around the bush. Excuse me. Let me state this. Just like I stated in my previous video, am I telling you guys to not carry or not conceal carry or not open carry? I'm not saying any of that. I'm not telling you to not carry in any capacity. I do encourage you to carry every single day. I can still carry 2 guns with me every single day, at work or not. So I just feel the need to point that out to you guys. In no way am I telling you to not carry or to not conceal carry or to not open carry. I'm simply telling you some downsides that come with it that we pretty much just have to take to the chin. We just have to deal with it as it comes. You know what I mean? So, moving on, let's start with number 1 finally. Open carry is much more noticeable than concealed carry. Anybody who disagrees with that is simply a liar. I hate to break it to you guys, but people who don't even know much about guns will notice when somebody is open carrying. People who know more about guns, they'll notice, gun-related things rather quickly. But even people who are oblivious to anything firearm-related will notice you conceal carrying. It is much more noticeable. It is out in the open, which really can lead to a lot of issues. And I will say those issues are reason number 2, which I'm going to get into in a little bit, but let's talk about how much more noticeable this is. Guys, we're talking about going from no one knows you have it to everyone knows you have it. The second you step out the door, you have made a public statement, I have a gun on me. Let's make this clear, guys. That's not really the tone people want to, start their day off, so to speak, with. However, once again, it's your right. No one's going to sit here and be like, hey, you can't carry. No one's going to tell you that. I'm not going to sit here and tell you guys that. However, with open carrying in particular, it is going to be much, much, much more noticeable, especially compared to concealed carrying. Now, moving on, number 2, open carrying will probably make you a target. And you will have to worry about several different issues that you more likely than not wouldn't have to worry about if you were concealed carrying. So here's a couple of examples, right? We've all seen videos where people who are open carrying get their guns stolen off them. So you become a target to criminals who want to steal your gun from you. We've seen several times. Actually, you know what? Here, let me put this in a common sense perspective for you guys. Let's say you want to be a mass shooter for whatever reason, whatever awful reason. You're like, hey, I'm going to go shoot up this specific place. Almost knocked over a bottle of glass cleaner. But let's say you're like, hey, I'm going to go shoot up this specific place. Who's going to be your first target? The guy that you can visibly see has a gun, or everyone else who you don't see a gun on them? You're probably going to go after the guy that you can see has a gun because he's open carrying. Okay, so it makes you a target for criminals who want to steal from you. It makes you a target to mass shooters. Let's see here. It makes you a target more to the anti-gunner crowd that's going to have to just sit there and, honestly, they're going to have to take to the chin the fact that people carry. But in the end, it's just going to be a headache. No one wants to deal with them. There are so many ways that open carrying essentially will make you a target. And while it shouldn't, it does. Because in the end, evil truly exists in this world. There's nothing we can do about that. What I can tell you is, are you going to be even a tenth of a target if you're concealed carrying compared to open carrying? Probably not. So if you're going to ask me, okay, well, you've done, the 2 videos, 3 downsides to concealed carrying, 3 downsides to open carrying, what would you pick out of the 2? I'm going to tell you concealed carrying all day and night. Just because of the fact that when you're concealed carrying, a lot less people know you have it. Therefore, you're not a target in that sense. I'm sorry, but if somebody comes in and shoots up a place, I don't want to be the first person shot. I'd rather have a chance to at least drop the shooter. And yes, okay, you can get shot and still be the one to drop the shooter. You still have a chance. Yeah, sure, but let's be honest here. The second you get shot, depending where you got shot, those chances decrease significantly. Now, with that being said, is it worth it to be a target? You have to ask yourself that. Because the first one, it being much more noticeable, yeah, it can be kind of a pain to deal with. You know what I mean? Oh, everybody's got eyes on you. Everybody knows you have the gun on you. But it making you a target, that's something that you really have to talk about with yourself. Consider. You got to weigh out the pros and cons, see if it's worth it for you or not. Now, there are some people, for example, my job actually, I can open carry all day and night. I can carry in whatever position I want in my job. There's a great chance that if I talked about it with them, like, I won't say great. There's a chance that if I talked about it with them, I could legitimately just probably get a strap to my AR and maybe have my AR strapped to me. That's an over exaggeration. Let me state that. That is an over exaggeration, but you guys get the point I'm getting at. I can carry however I want at my job in particular. So maybe I'm just going off on a tangent here. Who knows? Let's go ahead and move over to number 3. Number 3, I feel, is super important here because you got to understand this, guys. What is one of the big, what is one of the big pros to concealed carrying that open carrying doesn't really have? The element of surprise. When you were open carrying, that's gone. That's out the window. That's not happening. Okay? And while, of course, criminals, I'm sure, are going to choose people who they think are easier targets, so they're probably not going to go for somebody who's open carrying. However, if they're looking to just steal from you, they might just steal your gun off you if you're open carrying. But at least if you're concealed carrying, there's that element of surprise. People don't know you have it on you, so therefore, when somebody does try to make you in danger, they put your life in danger, they make you feel like your life is a threat, you can do that. You can adequately defend yourself, and that added element of surprise is probably going to help you in the long run. I can't think of a single time where the element of surprise has really been a bad thing. Excuse me. If any one of y'all can tell me a singular time where the element of surprise has ended negatively, I want to hear it. Comment it down below. Losing the element of surprise simply just means that, one, and it's kind of weird because they all kind of connect with each other a bit, but let me put it like this. If you open carry, not concealed carry, if you open carry, number 1, much more noticeable. Number 2, takes away that, or not number 2. Technically, if we're going to go in chronological order of how it would probably go down, it would be 1, 3, 2, not 1, 2, 3. But if you're open carrying, it's going to be much more noticeable, which is number 1, which takes away the element of surprise, which is number 3. And then guess what? You will now be a target, which is number 2. Realistically, I probably could have just switched them around, but, you live, you learn. Not a big deal. In the end, what would I pick between the two? I'm pretty sure I said that earlier in the video. I would pick concealed carry over open carry any day of the week. Am I saying, hey, never open carry? There's no reason to open carry in any way, shape, or form? No, that'd be very stupid of me to say. There are plenty of reasons to open carry. I'm not sitting here telling you never to open carry. Just like how in the last video, I wasn't telling you not to conceal carry. I'm simply telling you that these are some downsides that we pretty much just have to deal with. We have to take them to the chin. As some people would say, you got to charge it to the streets. But with that being said, I think that about wraps it up for this video. Y'all make sure to like, comment, subscribe, share, hit that bell. When you hit that bell, hit all. And whether or not you agree with me about these downsides, although I really don't think that there's too much disagreeing that can really be had with this. Maybe somebody's going to disagree with number 2 and they'll be like, hey, well, I don't know if it makes you more of a target, but it really does. All right. But whether or not you agree with me or not, go ahead and comment down below why or why not. Make sure to check out all my other videos. Y'all make sure to stay legal, stay safe, stay dangerous. Have a good one, y'all. Peace.